Wolves 1, Villa 0. What a win that was, especially after last week. Didn't turn up at all last week, but back at it again at home today. And you have to say, Lopetegui's turning Molineux into a bit of a fortress. Last 4 games, 4 wins, no goals conceded. Don't know the last time he did that, but I suspect it was a while ago. Absolutely brilliant. Great performance, really. Got a good first goal. Neves with a corner in. Totti with a good header. Could have had a penalty, I think, if he hadn't have scored. Dawson and Kilman, every single corner that came in the box, they were just getting holed by the Villa defenders. But Totti rose well, header straight into the top corner. Great finish, and yeah, brilliant goal. Sat a little bit deeper really after that. Kind of one of those, I think Nuno would have called it, controlling the game a lot of the time without the ball. Did have another couple of chances. Costa chested one down to Cunha. He hit it. He probably should have hit the target, but went just over the bar. Second half, Costa should have scored. Good through ball to him. Got on the end of it. Really should have scored, but hit it straight at Martinez. They probably had a couple of half chances. I think Sarr only made one save, and it was a good save, to be fair. Defence really dealt with everything. Dawson, really good on the day. Kilman as well. Collins came in to make it a 5 at the back towards the end. Never massively keen on that, but then at the same time, we didn't really give away any chances. So, yeah, all in all, a very good performance. 4 wins in the bounce at home, 4 clean sheets, and bring on Everton next home game, because I think we'll probably beat them as well. But United away next week will be a different task, obviously a better side. But you have to say, really, seeing us play Villa today, and the same as when we played them at their place as well, really, although albeit a different result, I wouldn't say they necessarily look anything particularly special, if I'm honest. And I think, really, next season, hopefully, that's the sort of position we want to be in. That sort of, certainly, top half of the table, and hopefully challenge towards Europe as well. But yeah, good game. Started with Cunha and Costa up front, which was good to see after he dropped Cunha last week. We always look better, I think, with the 2 up front. Lamina and Neves in the middle again, really controlled the midfield with and without the ball. Some real good touches again from Neves today, and Lamina was everywhere. So, and Semedo as well. I didn't do a video last week, but he would have got absolutely slated because he was awful and faked an injury and went off. But to be fair to him, he's pulled it back today. Good performance from him. Dealt really with everything that came his way. I say the whole back 4 really were well, with Totti at left back as well. So yeah, special mention as well for Neto. Absolutely running his socks off today. 1 point in particular, he's out on the left-hand side challenging for the ball, and he's actually won it. Well, it's come off him for a throw-in, but he's still chasing it in the right wing position. He's run the whole width of the pitch to try and get on the end of it, and that was a difference today, really. The passion and the determination was back, which you didn't see last week. But say 4 wins in a row at home and no goals conceded, you can't argue with that. Should be mathematically safe after this weekend, which it's been a long time coming, and to be honest, I didn't think would come for large parts of the early part of the season. So yeah, really good result. Always good to get one over on Villa as well, and onwards and upwards.
So it's finished. Wolverhampton Wanderers 1, Aston Villa 0. It doesn't really feel like a win, I'm going to be honest. But again, it's another 3 points on the board. Closer to, obviously, to safety now on 40 points. That was just done for the season. That's all that Julian Lopetegui was going to be asked for at the start of the year. There's a few key points that I just want to raise looking at what we've done so far in that game. So Diego Costa and Cunha, that's a pairing that needs to be working on. Clearly, they link up better together. It brings the best out of Cunha. We've seen this for a couple of weeks. That Cunha is so much better when he's playing with the target man. He can play off them. There's a few bits of play where they linked up together really well. And particularly in the first half, there's a good chance from Diego Costa when he chests it down to Cunha, where if he hits the target there, chance he's probably going to score. So that was really, really positive from those pair. Again, Dawson was so much better today than he was against Brighton. Defensively, he just brings karma to the whole back line. Whether it's the person playing next to either side of him, it's not a coincidence Semedo probably played better today because Dawson was playing better. And much like Kilman, he played better because he feeds off what Dawson's already doing. And he epitomised that in the final few stages of the game, where he took it to the corner flag right at the end, controlled it on the edge of their edge of their penalty area, took it to the corner flag, kept the ball, and managed to keep the possession in that corner. So that's a real positive from him as well. Totti, good, obviously scored the goal very early on, 9 minutes in. It's because the whole corner in that whole setup, the defence were that bothered, particularly John McGinn, was that worried about marking Dawson, and they actually fouled Dawson that built to that play. So if that goal hadn't gone in, I wouldn't have been surprised that was called back for a penalty because there was a foul on Dawson in that build-up. But Tosh did well to score his goal. He needs to work on looking after the ball and potentially in the corners as well when he takes it. When the other team got the ball and he's running back towards their own goal, he fouls them so many times towards when they're facing their own goal. He doesn't need to put the hands on the back. It's about 3 or 4 times he did that. And then there was a silly foul in front of the North Bank towards the end where he got a yellow card for it, booking for it, where it's a big shirt pull. So that's something he needs to work on. Neto, so much better today from Neto compared to... he started to show glimpses last week. This is more like the Neto we knew from a couple of years ago. Really, really good. And grew into the game. It took off when he probably should have done. That's probably what I thought he should have done. And we probably should have scored from his chance in the second half where he beat the outside man. As we know, he's got his pace on the outside. Put the ball back in, took a black bobble deflection, and it didn't quite drop to Costa for a tap-in. So that is the Neto that we deserve. Completely so much better in the second half. And that's what we should be looking forward towards. Again, the big question is how do you solve a problem like Nunes? What do you do with Nunes? Do you play him in that right-hand side? Because in the first half, he struggled to link up with Semedo and there's some sloppy bits of play between those two. But again, the second half, he then grew into the game and was better defensively. And then it summed up the pitch perfectly where I think he won the ball back or someone won the ball back to him. And then he carried the ball forward, chopped inside, played the ball wide to Neto, which then started that run where Neto run down the outside and Costa should have scored. So that came from Nunes. So where do you play him? Do you play him on the wing, or do you put him back in the middle? Because we know we've seen how good performances from his in the centre. And then the last one is 40 points and it is safe for the season. It's a win, but it doesn't feel like a win. It's a strange atmosphere today. I don't know what the Wolves fans felt, but I didn't feel like particularly it felt like that much of a win. I celebrated the Palace game a little bit more than that, maybe. I'm not really sure, to be honest, because the atmosphere is a bit funny today. I don't know what that comes to. That could be something to as silly as the rain starting at the start of the game. That might have affected the atmosphere. Any little things doesn't take a lot to put Wolves fans off. So it's a big season next summer, and in the transfer window, there's going to be lots of change, lots of players coming and going. Let's see what Lopetegui can do. Let's see what he brings in. Let's see if his character profiles change. Let's see who comes back into the club, and obviously who leaves. But let's enjoy that on Wolves fans. That's another weekend, another win. Let's see how we get on against Man United next week, and I'll catch you on the next one.
Finished Wolves 1, Aston Villa 0.
They can't beat us.
They cannot beat us. No matter how good they are, no matter how shit we are, they cannot beat us. Started today with, to be honest, I didn't have much hope. Because they're flying, and we're not coming off the back of a tough loss against Brighton. So we needed a reaction, and that's exactly what the boys have give us today. We come out and we're pressing high, we're attacking, we defend well, we get a corner, and Roberto Carlos has put it in the top corner from a header. And then from then, I'm not going to say we dropped off. I feel like they came into the game a bit more, give us a little bit more to deal with. But it wasn't much at the end of the day. Jose Sars made a good save off Buendé's shot and a good catch off Watkins' header, whereas if he put it either side of him, it's in. But apart from that, what an absolute resilient defensive performance today from the lads. Dawson, how on God Green's earth he's only cost us three and a bit million is beyond me. West Ham have made a massive error in getting rid of him. Tillman I thought was brilliant. Semedo again, Totti brilliant. The midfield, I think hopeful in times today we got overrun a little bit. But I think that's just when Buendé drops deep. We're gonna when you're only playing 2 in midfield and he's dropping deep to get the ball. A couple of times today we switched off and he's just bringing the ball out. But that's we needed a reaction today, and we got one, and that's the only thing I care about. It's 3 points on the board. Wolverhampton Wanderers are safe, near enough. If teams lose on Monday and tomorrow now, we will be mathematically safe. So this will see us keep our status in the Premier League for the season. you've got to give props to the work that the manager's done. I've been saying, get Graham Potter in, get Brendan Rodgers in. That's a load of tosh to me. It's Julian Lopetegui, and we are living in it. That is his world, and we are living in it. Finished Wolves 1. The mighty Champions League threatening Villa 0. See you next week, boys.
Well, it's another win for Wolves. I'm not really sure how. We weren't very good, but you take them, to be honest. That's all we needed now. We are, as far as I'm aware, we're mathematically safe. Not that we were really in trouble to begin with, but it's always nice to know that it's secure. I don't think we played very well, to be totally honest. I think the goal kind of caught everybody by surprise. But you take them as they come, and we just kind of held on till the end of the game. It was never really a struggle. It wasn't like the game a couple of weeks ago where the 1-0 lead was kind of like something to hold on to that we really struggled to like keep on to. Like the whole game was kind of comfortable, really. I was never stressed. I was never worried. I went with my mate who's a Walsall fan, and he was commenting the whole game saying, "You look really good," which, to be honest, is quite refreshing considering the season that we've had. We've been shit all year. So to kind of see us grind out results like that is always kind of a positive. I feel like it was one of those results where you just kind of take the performance as it comes and take it on to next season, especially at this stage in the year. Obviously, we're not really expecting anything in terms of kind of changing the table, but it's always nice to know that you're mathematically safe. And it was the kind of result where you can go into next season and know that you've got a one-up over them. When we play Villa next, whenever that may be, home or away, we know we've really got the advantage on them. It was a very difficult game to analyse. I don't think anybody played particularly well. I don't think anybody played particularly badly. But it was just a well-ground out result. All the substitutions seemed to just kind of solidify what had already been secured earlier in the game. So yeah, I don't have any problems with the performance today. Perfectly happy with how we played. Considering some of the performances throughout the season, that's not something that we've been able to rely on. So I'm just happy that relegation is not happening. We can sit back, relax, wait till next season, and hopefully when everybody comes back around, we've had a pre-season to work on everything, we can genuinely be challengers next season and not just be relegation fodder like we were this year. Generally speaking, I think the season's been okay. Obviously, we weren't where we wanted to be in the middle, but the way it's ended up is obviously nothing we can argue with. Considering the quality of the league at the minute, I think we've genuinely performed all right considering the managerial changes that have gone on. And all we can hope really is that when Lopetegui's had a pre-season to work on everything, we come back through and like challenge for Europe. I think that is the best we can hope for, really, because the league's turned very competitive. Villa are a very good side, and we should not take lightly that we beat them today. But as I said, it's not really an important game for the season. We're safe, everything's all right, and we just got to look ahead and make sure that next year is comfortable as it can be. I mean, pushing for Europe's probably a push, but you never know. We'll see what happens. Anyway, have a good evening. Up the Wolves, and let's hope next week's just as comfortable.